Hey guys, so today I'm going to walk you through my lesson plan project. This is for a 6th grade advanced math class. We are talking about surface area and partial surface area. So this right here is an agenda, or what we call an agenda in my math class. My kids get one of these every day. And this one is a 4-day project, lesson plan project that we did. And again, it's about surface area and partial surface area. So the way these agendas work is we post this on Microsoft Teams, and it's just a hyperlinked document that has the progression of what they need to be doing. So you can see here, step 1 is going to be a Nearpod lesson. The answer key is hyperlinked here for them to go and check later when they are done. And then digital practice below, and then they're going to take a check-in, and then their project is below. So I'm going to walk you through each of these things and how I did them in my class. So the lesson, which was over surface area and partial surface area, was a Nearpod. So here is the Nearpod that we walked through. The first few questions we did, the first one we did, I showed them, and this was a review for them, just surface area in general. We used the draw feature, which is really great. I can see all of their work on my screen if we do it this way. And it's really nice for the kids that are virtual at home. I can see and make sure that they're following along. Here is a partial surface area. So they're figuring out surface area of a popcorn box. We did this one together. And then this one's another partial surface area question where I let them try it and we checked it. After we did this lesson, I let them go into group practice, and they were still using the draw feature, so I could still check in with them and make sure that they were good, but they had practice problems to work on with a partner, and when they were done, they opened the answer key and checked it to make sure that they were good. So this was kind of the beginnings. Most of them did this just on the first day, and the next day they moved on to their digital practice options. So here, digital practice options, I asked them to select 2. A lot of them I definitely guided down to this Kahoot because it included that partial surface area, but they were to select 2 of these options, and they are hyperlinked, so when they click the link, it'll take them directly to that practice. And since we're on Teams, what they would do, this is like their how-to column, they complete 2 of the practice options and upload a screenshot of their score and a photo of their work page. So while they were working on this, it was independent, and I walked around and was checking in with students. If I noticed they were consistently getting some wrong or their score was pretty low, I started pulling some small groups to remediate on what it is that they were struggling with. So once they completed their 2, and again, this was a minimum. Some students I was like, hey, why don't you try one more? Why don't you try this one? But this, again, that's all they had to do was at least 2. After they finished this, they were asked to take a check-in. So this is through Microsoft Forms, and this check-in, it was a 2-question check-in that went over partial surface area. One of them was all in words, and the second one was a picture. And they were, again, finding partial surface area. This check-in gave me a lot of really great information as to who truly understood the material and who did not. And I was able to pull small groups to remediate, and then I was also able to group them into groups with students that had similar scores for their project. So the project that they were going to do was, the description is linked here, they were, with their group, required to create 4 partial surface area questions that were different and unique from the ones that they had solved in their lesson. It says that not only do they have to create the 4 questions, but they also had to create an answer key. They had to give enough information for someone else to solve, but nothing too easy, no nets given. And then they had options as to what tool they wanted to use to create these questions. I did allow them, if they had a different app in mind, to come bring it to me and I would approve it. But most of them actually ended up using PowerPoint just because I think they were most comfortable with it. And then the rubric was linked here for them to refer to as they were making their questions. And hopefully this will load. It was out of 16 total possible points. So here's the rubric. They got points for their answer key, if it included all of them, the questions if they were well thought out, use of class time, and then solutions to the problems. Once they were done on here creating their projects or their questions, I did have them switch questions with another group, and they were to solve that group's questions. And then based on that, maybe give some informal feedback if we had time. If I were to do this again, I probably would add something in this rubric saying I did put 4 well thought out surface area questions, but I think I may add like 3 well thought out like real world surface area questions, partial surface area questions, because some of the things that they came up with were just not realistic and kind of got away from that real world part of it. So I may try to pull that in a little bit next time. And I may also make the like completing of other groups questions a little bit more formal. It was kind of an informal thing, like once they finished, they switched, just to give it a little bit more structure. And I think also it is that feedback from group to group is really valuable, so I may add a more formal piece to that as well. But overall, it went really well and the kids really enjoyed it.